Hello. So, why is dating so scary these days? Well, we all know it's because on dating apps, there are so many people that we can all just go, engage. If we get bored, if we don't like what we see, we go somewhere else. We think the grass is greener on the other side, and there's lots of people lined up for us to keep going. So, here's the problem with that. The first is it's harder for us to trust these days because when we're in high school or college or whatever community, there's kind of a built-in trust for this person because this person might know other people that we know, or there's a social acceptance. They must not be too crazy because they're friends with other people that I know and they're not crazy. So there's kind of a built-in trust, right? And there's also social norms, right? Well, we have to sort of be as gracious and kind as possible because there's gossip that people are going to find out. We might get rejected from the pack if people feel we've done something off the cuff. So, not all the time, but the thought is that we have social graces, not always because we want to, but because we feel forced by society to stick by those, or we get rejected from the village and the community. So, people act in a more polite, loving way because other people will hear about it. So people can be a little more aggressive and a little bit, they can ghost, they can act not in accordance to this when there's no backlash for them socially. So people do act they're not their best because they can. So that's the bad news. The good news is that we can be empowered by this. Here's how we do this. We don't have to put up with anything that we don't want to put up with. We get to know ourselves, we get to know what it is that we want, and we get to communicate it with the person. If that person is not hearing us, they're not honoring it, they don't agree, and we don't feel good about something, we can go on to the next person who will. This is not a disempowerment situation. Let's say, for example, you're sleeping with someone and you're not necessarily exclusive yet because you're not quite sure what you're going to do, and you're very afraid that they're sleeping with other people, which doesn't feel safe for you. It's okay to tell them that. It's okay to say, I don't sleep with people who are sleeping with other people. Now, maybe we're not exclusive. Maybe you can date and talk to other people, but I don't feel comfortable sharing myself with someone if you're sharing yourself with other people. That doesn't feel safe and okay. Or let's say, for example, hey, I really want somebody who can communicate, more often than every 24 hours or, at the end of a weekend. I want somebody who can engage on a more regular basis, right? Or I really want somebody who can eventually decide they want to go on a date and can want to engage in a in-person activity and not just messaging all the time. You get to have these boundaries and expectations for the people that you're dating. You are not disempowered from this. You get to go to the next person in that line of people, on all those people on the dating apps. If people aren't listening to the things that are important to you, you no longer have to just be, well, I like him, so I'm going to let him decide everything that happens, how often we go on dates, where we go, whether he's sleeping with other people, right? Of course, everybody gets to decide that for themselves, but we get to decide if we want to keep engaging with that person. There are plenty of fish in the sea, yes, and we want to connect instead of thinking that there's always the grass is greener on the other side. But that doesn't include our boundaries, the things that are really important to us. So be empowered in the process. Figure out what it is that you're okay with and what you're not okay with and communicate it. And if they're not willing to listen, to abide, to honor, to be more willing to make you comfortable, then you can go to the other people on that list. But if you're jumping from lily pad to lily pad, you're going to find any reason to not trust. And if you're allowing other people to do things to you and feeling disempowered, you're not going to learn to trust other people. So the longer that you're in situations that you know are uncomfortable for you, the more you're telling yourself that you're not okay, but you need to be okay, and you don't. So that's the good news and the bad news of dating in this new environment and on the dating apps. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.